Well, like I said yesterday, Linda took a hard fall. And she's not doing too hot right now. She's sore, but we don't believe anything's broken, and she's slowly getting around. I took the children to school and did not know I was supposed to wait until a para came out to walk Ashton into the buildings. I let Ashton out, watched him go inside the building, and evidently after I left, he went back out the doors out onto the street. You have to understand, Ashton is not cognizant of danger. He doesn't understand. And that does create problems. And it's tomorrow I will have to take him to school again, and this time I will make sure a para comes out to the pickup and gets him. But I went to breakfast at 77 Grill in Davis. I've been friends with the gal that owns it for 35, 40 years, something like that. Well, about 30 years, I guess. And she asked where Linda was, and I said, well, I told her the details, and she said, tell her hi for me, so I did. Going back home, I was in the southbound, I was going south. The wind was coming from the west, really hard gusts, and I was in the inside lane, and it hit my van so hard it went like this and pushed me over into the oncoming lane. Well, no car was in it, and I don't think my wheels ever left the ground, but boy, it felt like it. But I got back in my lane and then went over to the outside lane next to the curb, and that's the lane I drove in all the way home. And every now and then, man, bam, there'd be these gusts of wind hit it. So that was a little exciting, yeah. Let me get a sip. You know, there are those in and around Davis that do not like Shelley, the gal that owns 77 Grill. Let me tell you something. There's people in Davis that don't like me. They don't like Jerry. They don't like Matt. They don't like Mike. So it's all relative and relevant. Doesn't matter. I like Shelley Hicks just fine. She's my friend. I think she's great. She sets a good place, and I found out it's a lot cheaper than Boomerang. That dreaded word. So that will be Linda and mine's new breakfast place. They're open Monday through Friday from 6:30 in the morning until 1:30 in the afternoon. And then the thing is, if it's inclement weather, they won't open. It's like this one gal, I think she's Shelley's older sister, said sisters don't like to get out in bad weather. And I understand that, absolutely. Somehow I ended up with a pocket full of change, and I don't have a clue where it came from. As a rule, I don't like coins in my pocket. I'll leave that until I'm ready to put it in the deal, in a jug I've got. And this is just afternoon, 12:06 in the afternoon, so I've got time to do this vlog and then go pick the children up from school. To my mom, yeah, the balloons coming over the United States are scary. The last two that were shot down weren't balloons. There's all kinds of explanations. In private messenger, I gave her my take on it. They were metallic, and the F-22s that were showing up to shoot them down, it interfered with their sensors and their controls on their craft. So read into that what you want to. There are those that absolutely do not believe there's anything as extraterrestrials. I understand that. That's their thought on it, and they're entitled to it. Me personally, I believe differently. And I won't go into why I do. Not on here, I won't. It doesn't mean that they're like us at all, you know, and it doesn't mean they're the good guys. I can promise you they're not. Gotta get a sip. But I've got friends. I belong to a think tank, and I've got a couple of guys in the think tank. My late friend L.D. Oliphant was a member of said think tank, and I'm being pressured to find an attorney that can replace him. Number one, I don't know a lawyer that was in the military or in any intelligence group. Number two, by and large, attorneys do not like to work for free. They don't like pro bono. D did pro bono work on the think tank simply because he was rich. He didn't need the money, and he was in it from the beginning. It's an unpaid position, and if they're like me, most of those guys don't really care about prestige. They like some coins to jingle in their pocket, even though I don't like coins, but I like money. It's nice having money. Money wheels, it greases the wheels of your life in most ways. Could I survive without it? Yeah, it wouldn't be very comfortable, but yes, I could. We could as a family. It was raining this morning, I mean like cats and dogs, and Linda got up really early to let them out, and they wouldn't go out. It was wet out there. The goats don't like water. They were all in their little buildings. And the thing is, Linda's got to bathe her pet baby goat, Frosty. The reason she named her Frosty, and I call her Princess Frosty, she went out in the morning, and I don't know what time, it might have been 2, it might have been 5, I don't know, but she went out, she saw something white laying on the ground, and went out there, and it was a newborn baby goat that was alive, but ice was sticking her hair together. And Linda brought her inside the house, warmed her up. Let me tell you something, I'm totally in love with that little baby goat, that kid, and so's my wife, so's everybody in the family. She's great. Absolutely precious. Well, and I've got a letter from AARP trying to recruit me. I won't belong to an organization that's basically socialist in nature. Linda's stiff and sore, but she's on the mend. To answer Mom's question, we don't know anything about Brandon yet. Gotta have to take him back over there. Prefer to do it in my van, but dang, man, I mean, those wind gusts, I don't know how strong they were. I know it was giving semis a hard time. I mean, they were really, there'd be a sustained breeze of about 20 miles an hour, and then suddenly, whew, and it just, whoa, push you over. Needless to say, I'll be taking Linda's pickup to go get the kids because it's not as wind resistant as my van. The van sticks up and it's a big long rolling box. The pickup's more aerodynamic, and I won't take the Navigator to do it anymore simply because that's Nick's car now. Let him handle all the stuff on that. It's Valentine's Day. I do want to do something special with my wife for Valentine's Day, but she's injured. However, that won't stop me from maybe going and getting her something for Valentine's Day. Yeah. I haven't really been online except on Facebook this morning, and that's how I noticed that Mom had sent me a PM. We're looking at a bicycle, 4-wheel, 2-seat, Rhodes car bike down in Crowley, Texas. I don't know where Crowley, Texas is. I need to get a hold of the folks, and I would like probably to solicit my friend Matt to drive us down there to get it, simply because he knows Texas real well. It's in the Dallas area. I don't have a clue. Every time I go to Dallas, I get lost. Every stinking time. I went to New Orleans one time a few years back. Went down to Dallas to turn left and turn and go east. And I got on something called a Mixmaster, and I was on that thing for an hour before I figured out I was driving in circles. True story. The guy gets a sip. So I have my youngest adopted son hopefully show me how to do it, or take us to do it. Buy him some fuel and say, let's go. I really hope you've got your affairs in order. What I mean by that is if you don't have a relationship with the Lord God Jesus, you better get one pretty quick. I'm serious. We're headed right into some doom and gloom stuff. Most people don't want to hear it. I've got friends tell me to shut up all the time when I say something about that. It's all there in Scripture. It tells us what's going to happen, you know, and it's happening. My best friend Jerry's been warning people for a long time, and people, they just fluff it off. They blow it off. Oh, you see, the problem is everyone is so busy concentrating on right now. They're not looking at the future, and they're looking at what they did in the past, and a lot of people have gotten themselves into some serious financial trouble. It's never too late to get out of that trouble. Well, in reality, it will be too late, but rethink how you spend your money. Spend it on necessities, not wants. And I've got folks telling me I need to practice. You got to understand, I'm not in debt. I've got a few guys watch this that give me hell over that. I'm not in debt. Everything we've got's paid for. Everything. We don't have payments on anything. If it's ours, we own it. And we have, Linda and I have paid our dues. We have. You know, I talked to my brother, my best friend. He's my brother, Jerry Pletcher is. We discuss this a lot. We have discussed it in depth about folks, you know, don't understand. You don't spend money you don't have. Even business. And years back, I went in debt on some things for business, but paid the debt off as fast as I could. And Jerry talked about the same thing. He's had some hard times. A lot of people do not believe that he has had hard times. Let me tell you, life has not been easy on Jerry and Diane Pletcher. I don't care who says differently. They're on the outside looking in, and I've known them for an awful long time, and I know how hard they've worked. I know what they've done. I know how they've done, and I also have observed over the years Diane wearing the same clothes to church for years at a time. Yeah, they don't spend money foolishly. They spend it wisely. And they've had so many people try to plunder them, it's unreal. And it's made Diane a little gun shy, and I understand that. But things are getting ready to improve for them and a few other folks I love and care about. And things are getting ready to not be good on a few folks that I love and care about because they're not being smart financially. And I'm not talking about any of my children. I'm not talking about any of my siblings. I'm talking about folks that I know, that I consider friends, and I watch how they do things, and it's very foolish. And I try to point something out, and I get rebuffed. I get told to mind my own business. So I shut my mouth, I go my merry way, and I don't talk to them about it. And yet a few of those individuals are always like this with me, and I tell them, no, I'm not a bank. And that makes for problems, interpersonal problems. You have to pay attention, and you have to manage your money, or money will manage you. That is a truth right there. My brother Chris got out of debt. Now he's looking at situating his life so that it's more enjoyable. He's had a very illustrious life. He's an absolute genius. Not just on jewelry, he's the best guitarist I know, far better than I am. And he's a really great guy. Well, folks, I've got to get off of here. I need to get this uploaded, and I need to do some business, business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. I don't want to, we got to, you know, and it's part of that axiom I just let out. You take care of your money, you manage your money will manage you. Well, I love all of you watching this. I do. I want God to bless you. I do. I want you to be kind to everyone and everything you come across. I do. Because kindness goes a long way to making your life so much better. Bye.